This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
On the troll.
Yes, we are here. It is Friday. It is still Friday. Yes, we are here.
Inspection in
loco. Loco in inspection. However you want to put it, as CRISELDA herself got it wrong sometimes,
loco
many times.
Inspection in loco.
It's the same thing. But let us start here, Emily. Just greetings to everyone. Let us start here. In South Africa, we're used to mediocre when it comes to some of the things, more so when it comes to reporting.
Yeah.
Let us give CRISELDA his flowers.
Hair
flowers SAP. And I'm saying this because I am starting to believe, or even I'm currently convinced that she is the best that we can ever have. She is the best that we can ever have. She works her socks off, and kudos to SABC One just for that journey, and and also for bringing CRISELDA to this case, because I mean she's been away.
Yes,
but just bringing CRISELDA when we need her.
Yes.
Unbiased,
factual
reporting,
making us go through the experience with her,
giving the experience with her. I could hear the end that even the plan that they had was actually not followed.
Yes,
but we did not see that, except we only heard it when they were talking towards on the side towards the end.
But
that is
everything came together.
We
for the
only
good.
saw quality. We lived the moment afar. We didn't need to drive all the way from where we are, maybe KZN or maybe wherever we are, to go and see. But I can tell you, spiritually and physically, it felt like we were there.
We were there.
Yes.
Providing that experience on its own.
And that's the only channel that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going to talk about other YouTubers that are like us, gossipers, and I don't know. Because if you decide to take a stand on where you are standing, then you don't deserve to be called a channel. You not the mainstream channel. You are just a gossiper, a YouTuber, a TikToker, or anything. We don't care, but we are.
That you've come down to our level.
You're stooping low. So the only channel that was there, and not taking anything from away from ENCA, they have never. In my life, I've not seen them doing anything that is out of order in this.
With regards to the Senzo Meyiwa case. We must also say
we appreciate
give him his flowers as well,
yes.
because he factually reports on the case as well. He's not doing these crazy things that we have been exposed to.
I'm not going to be
talking
about people's name, but I'm just saying we have one proper journalist here, and maybe Bomangoba also are there. I like Mangoba more when he's reporting on politics.
But he's a factual reporter.
He's a factual reporter.
That's
yes.
the stuff now I appreciate. I don't want to be listening to you and feeling like I'm listening to a YouTube commentator. No, there's a difference. There's a time for everything. When I'm watching mainstream, I'm expecting to get the facts. Give me the facts. Give me the experience. What is happening? What are you seeing? What are you feeling? That's what we're talking about.
I see Sholendo, Eastern Cape. She's from Eastern Cape.
Yes.
You produce it. You produce there. And perhaps we can see more from Eastern Cape, eh?
Yeah.
Because by Shire Veland. Reporting.
Yes. Impela
No, mina. When I say a good thing, I'm going to say it.
No, we must praise it.
Thank you
Give CRISELDA,
for
give
giving
the
us to
SABC
CRISELDA all the way
flowers.
from Eastern. Thank you. We appreciate her, the work she does. More so when she's on the ground.
Yes.
Not
she's
to
on
say
the ground.
even on the studio she's perfect.
But on the ground,
But
then
on the
nobody
ground,
does it like her. And I'm sorry.
She eats the ground like nobody else.
She's there. She's within.
They had to stop her not to enter on the toilet side because they were. That's how robust
That's how
she is.
interested she is. You see her running. And it's because of the reporting and the quality of the reporting as well. We now saw that actually from where the accused said he was being assaulted, it's a walking distance to the police station.
Which subsequently was said to be a long drive.
A long drive.
Through
You
the
need to
explanation.
drive. They walked.
I was surprised because that's exactly what we've been subjected to in that court.
10 minutes.
We have been subjected to that.
More like 5-minute walk.
And again, Mnisi. Man. I think when we say you are representing a person, that's an example. If you are going to enter the array of criminal law,
Yes.
this is how you should be.
Most definitely.
Yeah, this is how you should be. You should not back down. This is how you should be. We appreciate what we are seeing. It's quality. I don't care what others are saying, but it is quality. It is quality. It is the best. We saw a guy of glasses there. Very fit, short guy. Then I asked myself, where no Mukhalelo?
Oh, you mean the one who was wearing sunglasses in the back? Who looked a little bit
chubby,
yeah,
but fit.
Yeah.
With the bald.
Or the bald head. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Impukane ziyasho zithi hayi nathi ngenzeka kube weird. It was
the one with the
yabona as they were pointing at the court there. I mean at the police station there. He was there behind accused number I think 3 and 5. He was moving but the camera could not catch him, but they tried to catch him. I don't know whether he was moving away.
Angazi yena bekafuna in front of the camera either way like.
So yeah, we saw someone like that, and then umzekezeke.
Umzekezeke. Fake baraklava and the glasses. You know those glasses are usually used when there's bombs and explosives involved. Even the makarapa.
You know, when I saw that makarapa, I was thinking of a sniper. I was like, can't he? Are we watching a movie here?
He was in the bomb squad.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tabo. Nizi, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. Yeah.
Abantu batuna drama.
Yeah. So,
abanye bathi ungathi ninja. I've had it all.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, the way he doesn't want people to see his face. Akafuni simbono. Carrying a rifle. What was the purpose of the rifle?
But then I was asking myself this question. Oguti, and no offense to the cameraman. I just wanna know the cameraman that started this row of taking these people no, was it a cameraman? Was it CRISELDA actually who started the this thing of people not wanting to be seen? But
it wasn't them. I remember when we were talking about it. Here's what's happened. Tumelo comes in, uses the front entrance. It's his first time coming to testify. Journalists did what journalists do. All right? They flocked to him and started asking him questions. How are you feeling, Mr. Tumelo Madlala? And what does Tumelo do? Tumelo runs away. Tumelo runs. And then they run after him. Because why is he running? You understand? It was the spur of the moment thing. So, and then it got blown out of proportion. Like now it created the situation that we find ourselves in. I'm not entirely going to blame them now when I look back and I saw the posts that were made by Miss Popola that there was actually a plan.
It seems as if there was a plan
to get rid of the media.
Because even now you see how people are hiding. It seems as if this is something that was a plan long time ago. Even people that shouldn't be hiding.
Yes.
Because in any case, if you are in SAPS, you are in SAPS.
You are a brigadier. There's no point in hiding. Who are you hiding from besides you are in a high profile case?
Tina sazinzizwa thina omkhwanazi. Izinto eyilanda ama taxi owner zingagqoke next. Zigqoke nje uniform.
Aso niyayisusa.
Simple. Sazinzizwa thina.
Makuliwa kuvela kaqo ukuthi kuyaliwa once. Hey, that video finishes me. And then but I see. So for him being a brigadier, big like a high esteemed police officer of his stature, I'm kind of like taken aback with him hiding the way that he's hiding. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know what to feel about this. Like, you will go to such lengths not to have people see you. We didn't even see a speck of hair. That's just a speck of hair at the corner. He was completely hidden. Completely.
Very, very interesting days indeed. That's all we can say. But I mean, let's just go through for people who would need to know what happened and that especially in local.
Yeah, we had a major surprise today. I didn't know that this was going to happen today specifically. I was like receiving notifications on my WhatsApp, Mr. Anonymous, saying, check SABC, there's an inspection in local happening. And I'm like, what? I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't know this was going to take place today. But strange enough, the media was ready. The media seems like it had been briefed that is what was going to be happening today, or rather yesterday, depending on what time you guys watch the video. So I was shocked. So the morning started with arrangements being made as to how they were going to do this inspection in local, and this particular spot that accused number one was speaking of, which is this gold spot in Vosloorus that he had testified about in his testimony, that is where they assaulted him not once but twice. The judge did throw some aspersions there to say that the first time he testified, he said it happened once, and then now he's coming back and saying that it happened twice.
Mani, uma ngabe ethi I listen. Usuke shukthi. I listen to from what the state is saying. I listen to the state. Is that what he said? Is that what they mean?
You know, after watching and deliberating him for as long as I have, the only time when he makes those statements is when he's trying to cover up for the state maybe the state, that's when we hear these jabs being thrown that I listen. I'm not so sure.
Try to cover up allegedly.
Okay, allegedly.
Yes.
When the state is falling short. That's what I'm trying to say. When the state is falling short on something, he comes in to, in my opinion, save the day, to be like, okay, I did listen, maybe correct the defense on what they are saying. Maybe they got wrong on what the state said. It seems like when it comes to details that the state's case puts forward, he does listen. And I do give it to him. I've seen him actively even writing stuff down whenever witnesses of the state are testifying. But when it comes to the defense witnesses, I don't know if he listens. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay.
I cannot fully say that the version of the defense, he listens as much as he does when it comes to the version of the state. I'm still trying to find the balance.
I hear you.
So I don't know. I don't know how to make of it or make it. But that's been my feeling. That's been my feeling. So Advocate Charles Mnisi had requested an inspection in loco at Force Slaughters where accused number 1, MUZI SBIYA, alleges that he was assaulted. So Baloyi read the section that speaks of the inspection in loco, apparently section 169 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1957. And there was a security briefing also with no media. They barred the media from capturing the details of this security briefing. And they were going to tell or plan rather how they were going to embark on this journey of traveling to Force Slaughters, what security personnel they're going to use, and maybe routes as well that they were going to use. So I even recall the cameras being asked to be switched off for that specific incident or specific activity to take place. So Advocate Baloyi asked about the media, whether they were allowed to accompany the court, and the judge asked him for his submission, and Baloyi said that they needed to be guided by the defense. Advocate Mnisi said that insofar as the security briefing is concerned, he was of the view that the media should be excluded and it should only be court personnel, members of the court. They can only be at the place of inspection in loco. He said that it would be of their own taking, meaning that he did not exclude the media necessarily per se for them being at the inspection in loco. So when it comes to the security briefing, he said that he was of the view that they should excuse them. So CRISELDA Lewis of the SABC, at this point, she spoke on behalf of the media that for security briefing, they will switch off the cameras immediately. And the judge said that they are not barred from attending the court as it sits at Force Slaughters. So he reminded Baloyi of the order that they made on the 7th of July 2023, the one that was barring the media. Remember, he de novoed everything except for that, because this order actually was made by the previous judge, Shipwa Maumela, after an application was made after that whole scandal of Tumelo being chased down and crying and saying that he was traumatized because he didn't want to speak to journalists. That day when they just wanted him to say a word, he could have said, hi, I cannot comment now, I'm going to testify, and keep it moving. They were talking about someone who was talking to Netflix cameras, you understand? And on that day, he just decided to be all theatrical, and then all of a sudden the media is being told you don't have to record witnesses anymore.
And I judge that guy. You want this guy? I judge that guy. I judge that. I want to mail. I judge, I'm fit.
I will never tone it down when it comes to Tumelo. The ones who feel like I'm being too harsh. But we've gone through a lot.
If you want to know why I don't have much friends,
people like him. People like him are the reason why you would be afraid of friendships and friends.
Aye.
They are the
Yeah,
type of friends that your parents would warn you
I see
about.
what you say in court and how, we can try to defend you on different, but what you did after that, for this whole court to sit like this just because of your complexion, while your friend passed away, you are only worried about cameras following you. You run away and you create a precedent of us not being able to see witnesses.
The body language.
The
facial
and all that.
expressions.
And
it
you
would
say
have made
you were
this all the
Senzo's
more
friend.
better for us to gauge and for us to make up our minds. But no. Dumelo had to cry and be all hysterical and cry and say that he was traumatized. He wasn't traumatized while he was being recorded by Netflix. All of a sudden he's traumatized while CRISELDA wanna ask him how he feels just before he goes and testifies.
Maybe they were supposed to throw some thousands down there.
Some thousands?
And be fine. Abes Cornelu Bonuma Popola, everyone.
While she was busy there, I remember him pointing at accused number 2 and stuff. We needed to see those visuals, but unfortunately,
we didn't see equal. Nothing.
So yeah, that order was made by Judge Shipiwa Maumela, and when Judge RATHA decided to preside over the case, he decided to de novo everything except for that order. Thank you very much.
Deny?
De novo.
I
remember there was a de novo.
Don't remind me of that, because the pain of trying to erase what we had.
Well, they first started at the area of accused number 1, where he said he was assaulted. And speaking from my own personal opinion, what I noticed is that there was no general spitty-pitty,
in that area, yes,
of people.
Unlike the police station.
Out. Yeah, unlike the side of the police station that Brigadier GININDA was talking about. There, of course, there was movement of members of the people, of the public. We did see them. The cameras did capture some of them. But I was hoping to see the same thing, on that side where accused number 1 was talking about, because it had been created this impression that there's no way he was in a secluded spot. Yeah, bo.
It had, in fact, even later on, the judge was, in my opinion, kind of denying that is a secluded place.
He didn't want to accept it for it being a secluded place, which is weird, because when we talk about secluded, we're talking about an area where there's no people, there's no random person who can just walk by and say, oh, I saw police beating up this person. That's secluded, in my opinion. It can be anywhere that's far from the general public's eyes. You understand what I'm saying? So for them to just want to not accept that area as being secluded, I can only wonder if the police are surrounding you and the cars are parked. Because how he was describing it, it seemed like the cars were parked all around, just to cover him. And he was in the middle of, what did he say, 14? About 14, as he was estimating police officers.
Yes.
And that was not secluded. I looked behind that office building, or what looked like an office building. There's no door. It's just windows. And one would say, but maybe there are people that are working inside. Maybe they would have seen via the windows. This was COVID. People were instructed to go work from home if you were a non-essential worker. And police officers, nurses, doctors, only a few people were considered essential workers at that time. Not really a few people, but a few professions. And they needed some form of permits to move around. So it wasn't easy to just move around at that time. So I don't know. To me, that was secluded.
That a license plate was working
24/7. That's what they said. I'm like, Aibo. What license plates? The traffic office works 24 hours. Uyayazi wena, Mr. Anonymous, mina ngiyazi.
One of the biggest is in Randburg.
Yes.
Icon.
24 hours.
24 hours, Goop. No one. If it's Friday, those people, they will tell you there's no water.
They are leaving.
How?
They are chaser. No 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is far.
11, more like 11. So I'm like 24/7. Njani manje?
You wanna renew your license? You wanna renew? Forget. For Friday, you don't. Unless uzofika nge-8.
And when you go there, you must go there early so that you can queue. Because when you leave, they're gonna say you came late, even though they're not closed. But to them, you came late. Come back tomorrow.
Then you see the person who's gonna help you on Monday.
Yes.
Saying that they cannot help you. They've knocked off.
So 24 hours wait at up. People don't understand. That's 24/7. I'm like, huh?
Foslorus must be one of the biggest places in Joburg.
Wow. Really? Foslorus traffic department, do you guys work 24/7? Let us know.
Maybe now they do. It will be very interesting because, wow, imagine going to renew your license at night.
There was a parking, one would say maybe across the street is what I also noticed. There was some kind of a shelter that is just opposite, maybe like a street. You jump a street and then there's that parking area, and it had cars there that were parked, right? I noticed that spot immediately at the beginning. So Mnisi described that place as a golden spot and the parking area of the golden spot. MUZI SBIYA demonstrated the spot where he alleges that on the 30th of May and on the 5th of June 2020, that's where he was assaulted by police officers. Remember that they arrested him in Tembisa. They arrested him in Tembisa and they took him to Foslorus. Right? Do you guys recall that part of evidence? And also there was a photographer from the SAPS as well. Accused number 1 pointed where the cars came from or where they entered, the entry and exit of that area and where they would park. He said that it was about 7 cars that were with him on the 30th in particular.
Yeah, well, if we are going to be honest here, if we are going to be honest, there was no reason for accused number 1 to go to Foslorus. If we are going to be honest, they can tell us about the case of substances and whatnot.
Remember, they said that they were going to look for the hostel, the Foslorus hostel or something like that. That's why they went to Foslorus.
Sibona ma fire station as a judge and all that. Honestly speaking, a sober person should be asking himself, why would you take someone from Tembisa and you go take them to Foslorus looking for a hostel? To do what in that hostel? To do what? Okay, you have stayed in that hostel at some point, but you were found residing in Tembisa.
He said, Umkhola, who gave this evidence, she said that the accused number 1 had said that's where they were going to find the firearm that killed Senzo Meyiwa, at that hostel. And I'm like, Haibo.
It's crazy, man. It just doesn't make sense.
They never found that firearm.
We are told to believe Uba, there was an investigation does not make sense. I'm trying to...
Umkhula testified that she had arrested MUZI SBIYA in relation to the illegal substance case and ammunition
that
case.
Young lady.
Yes.
That young lady.
Yes.
Where is the young one.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know whether she's young or what, but that's the one. The one who had...
Looks shortish.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
She was walking with him Shololo at some point.
Wow. Abanga nje ukhahlelwa. Ekhahlela. Hey ngoba madoda. Kulungile.
Today they were wearing uniform, and apparently on typical, their typical days every day, they are wearing private.
And it was the right time to parade that unwanted BMW.
That's not the one that Ntanzi is talking about, allegedly.
It was the right time to parade that unwanted BMW that I don't think everyone was talking about.
No, that one is the one that they say came after 2021. That's not the one that Ntanzi was talking about, or that he had said he had seen.
Manje, with all those guns, was there a need for GININDA to carry a rifle?
A rifle. I just found it to be so extra.
Don't get me wrong. But does he carry it when he goes to court?
I don't think so. He's an investigator.
A rifle?
A rifle was too much. It was extra. And provided that there were other police officers around the area, I'm like, and why is he now masquerading as one of these officers that are carrying rifles?
I almost said, that's NIU.
Almost. Tactical response team.
That was like NIU level. Like, here.
And like, this is so extra. And then he's busy testifying. They're holding the rifle like this and looking at the accused.
Hey,
and looking at
everybody.
I'm like, this is not even looking like he's afraid.
They are brave, Omnis. You are asking questions, and you are telling someone good you are going to observe yourself. The person has got a rifle. Hey, but brave.
Why did he hold that rifle? Was he trying to scare everybody? What is going on? Can somebody give us context?
To me, I'm gonna be honest. It looks like he was just scaring somebody. That's how I saw it. Because someone who's testifying, why carry a rifle?
Why are you testifying with a rifle like that? Guys, this was so extra.
With so many police
around you.
So many. The EST also carrying rifles. You are also carrying rifles.
EMPD, they were also there, I think.
You could have given that rifle to Mukhale.
How?
Mukhane. Was it Mukhale? The girl?
Mukhula.
Hey, Mamfundis.
How? There were so many though who were carrying those rifles. There was no need for him to carry it, in my opinion. I'm like,
please press that like
this
button.
This is so extra.
Guys.
This is so dramatic.
Or you want me to carry the rifle too, so that you can. Please press the like button. Please.
As we're walking there. Hi guys, kwenzakalani South Africa.
Hi. Omnisi uthi irifle ibanjwe kanje ibheke kobhozo bakhe lapha on his foot. Uthi let us be the judge. That's why we are here, to do evidence in loco.
You don't need to tell us about the building. Which one is
what?
Is what is isolated or not? We are here to make our own observations. I'm like, yes.
Abemnis is a runner. Maybe he was trusting on his running skills. I'm like, hey, with the rifle, hey man.
Hi guys, it didn't go back. Now he said that it was about 7 cars that were with him on the 30th of May 2020, and they made him sit down, hands cuffed at the back. And then he said they put a plastic bag over his head, and he said that he ended up laying down because they were beating him. Allegedly. Then when they were done, he saw Brigadier GININDA standing in front of him after they were done assaulting him. And then they moved towards the side of the vehicles, and the rest of the cops moved towards the side of the vehicles there, and they just left him there with the brigadier. He said that they know the place to be a gold spot belonging to the municipality. Police station is at the back. He did demonstrate that actually the police station is just at the back behind those buildings that he was in. And he said that he'd never entered the premises on that day or any day before that day that he got arrested. So generally, my observation when I saw that place is not a place that any general member of the public can just get in, walk in and out. It's not like a shopping complex. That area is like it's not a place where you can just get in as a general member of the public. It does look like it's a workspace. You understand? So I don't know, maybe I'm more
or maybe
inclined.
they're still building it. That one, they are still renovating. Seems as if, to me, it seemed as if they are still. I mean, no offense. It's like there was painting happening there. Yeah, Sizwe Ati, I've never seen Mkhwanazi holding a gun or wearing a mask. Mkhwanazi, if you heard Mkhwanazi at some point, what he said about the rifles, he was talking about the guys that have bodyguards.
Yes,
he said actually if you know the guns, you would know that a rifle is not a good weapon to protect someone
with.
And to me, it makes sense.
By the time you are
Says
attacked,
someone who apparently is one of the best.
By the time you lift it and try, and
shooting.
it's for long distance
Yes.
shooting. It's not for close range
So Mkhwanazi knows his story when it comes to
firearms.
And apparently, I twana impela mukwaveza umunwe impela. So Mkhwanazi would not carry that gun. I know for sure, unless it's going to a battle where people are gonna be far. And then yeah, I think he would carry that gun.
They're usually used in crowds and stuff. And the reason why maybe prison wards carry them is because should a prisoner run away,
the shooting might be
a distance,
or it might be sort of a war shooting. Yes, that's where you need that kind of a gun. So don't expect Mkhwanazi to carry that. I don't expect him to do that.
So if someone wanted to take you out, by the time you try to defend yourself with the rifle, it might be too late.
Very late.
It's not recommended for personal protection.
You need a small gun, versatile,
quick response.
So just advocating for undonga ngapha umvikeli wethu le khela iKZN, just saying ukuthi hayi undonga.
Yeah, he did say Mkhwanazi
would not carry such. I doubt he would carry such.
He was actually speaking with those security personnel that guard wealthy people. Ukuthi haibo, we do see the guns while you're going to ceremonies lapha emakhaya, but it's not the ideal one you want to use while you're in a situation like that. So the judge now asked for his understanding if the fencing was there, because he had spotted a fence somewhere across where they were staying. Or they were standing. So accused number 1 said that it was a fence, and the judge now asked if there were cars coming in. MUZI said that he never saw any cars coming in at the time, and also it was locked down. He also demonstrated what happened on the 5th of June 2020, the day of the pointing out with Colonel Hadebe. That day, he says that he was driven from Villeria police station in Pretoria. and they took him there just before they went and took him for the pointings out. So according to his version, he says that they kind of beat him up before the pointing out. Remember, there are photographs of him that are being used in court currently to say that he did point out the incident, the Gutlanong Street, the Spaza house, and everything else. They took pictures of him pointing. So he's saying and alleges that actually before I went and did this pointing, or so-called pointing out, I was taken to this very same spot and I was beaten again, allegedly. That's his version. So accused number one said that they used the same entrance and they parked on the same area and then took him out, and they were standing closer to where they had initially stood when they first brought him there on the 30th of May. So they kind of did the similar assault. He demonstrated again what they did to him before the pointing out. He said they made him sit down again, handcuffed at the back, and this time around he didn't have leg irons on his feet, so they hadn't shackled his feet. He said they put a plastic bag and assaulted him. He said that they assaulted him and then they took him to Alberton. The judge asked if there was a fire brigade over there, you know. It seems like he had spotted a fire brigade. Nisi said that he was not aware that there was such a fire brigade. I would also like to know how he knew that there was a fire brigade. I'm very interested. Judge? Yes. Did he look at Google Maps before they went for the spotting out?
I got there was a flying aeroplane there that took pictures. But
took pictures of where?
Of that area.
Of that area.
Yeah. We are talking about that one of Kung Fu.
The aerial photographs that were used by Brigadier GININDA.
Maybe, yeah.
So they show this fire brigade.
Maybe. Who knows? But what was the purpose of that question?
I don't.
To say
that the people of the fire,
instead of watching a fire or looking for fire, they were checking the police.
What the police were doing in that area.
And they were about to report the police on the police. Doing it around, closer to police station.
And you know, in a typical situation of the fire brigade, let's say maybe they were there, what were they supposed to do exactly? To say and report the police for arresting a person. They did not know whether the person was guilty or not. They did not know the details. They didn't know whether the person they arrested was guilty or not. Now they must call the police on the police to say, we see the police are assaulting someone. I don't understand what the expectation is.
Is that situation of calling me while I'm committing crime? I'm like, oh no, don't worry. We're just training. Like, honestly speaking, these questions of a judge, like, they always throw me off.
He's looking for something to debunk. That's my opinion.
And then from there, they moved away with his register, if I'm not mistaken. Then they talk about that 24-hour open area.
Yeah.
I'm like...
And then at some point, the interpreter, Ubab Jonas, was asking for the media not to capture some individuals. He said that those individuals are scared. I couldn't tell which individuals he was talking about, so you guys can help me out with that. I don't know which ones he was talking about. So Brigadier GININDA had on military gear. He was holding a rifle, having a balaclava over his face, as well as a mask and those goggles that they put on that are usually used by the bomb squad. That's my description of what I saw. With also a military hat, a makarapa or something like that, looking like he was there to serve, one would say, the NIU, in full tactical uniform, just to hide his face. Other people were saying that he was dressed like Umzegezeg. Others were saying he was dressed like a ninja, Hey, it was a lot.
I don't care what you try to say in terms of convincing me it was a disguise or what. But then you go on and talk on the news live feed, and you say yet you are hiding yourself, maybe from people who might be looking for you. It makes it easier for them, right?
Why did he engage in this? Because last time I remember the state had said that the aerial photographs
and he was
were
done
enough.
testifying according to his version of where he met.
Yes.
In a sense, there was no need for him to. He could have stayed in a car or something
And just avoided the whole
and
thing.
then let the red garment ninja do his job where he can.
For his understanding.
For his understanding. You know, he's always on point. But Lloyd doesn't even need to defend anything. So, I don't understand. There's a master there.
And also the judge pointed out the traffic officers, EMPD. He said that accused number 1 said that they were closed. Advocate, I don't know whether it's Advocate Baloy, but I heard you saying it was Brigadier GININDA saying that they were open 24/7. The judge.
There was that conversation that was started by the regist. And then it moved to 24/7 type of vibes. Yay! Awet. Nisho phela masenivula kuze bese ebusuku. Phela thina siphume emsebenzini la sifuna ukwenza amalokhuzana. So renew ama disc weight kanti kuyavulwa.
Just help us a lot.
Tell us.
Help us greatly.
Hey, tell us. These things are very important.
So the judge asked if SBIYA was ever taken on the other side, and Advocate, Advocate Baloy said he was not there on the 30th. Who was not there on the 30th?
He said GININDA said he was not there on the other one, the 5th, I think.
Oh, the 5th. He said that he was not there on the 5th. He was there on the 30th only. Yes. And everything happened where he was demonstrating. Then the judge said that he wanted to see the secluded place that accused number 1 was referring to.
You see what he's doing.
He was not considering that place
as a secluded
place. He had already made up his mind that it's not secluded. So he wanted to see the actual secluded place. He didn't consider that place as secluded.
That sounds like a mockery to me. It's like you're mocking this whole situation.
Nisi clocked it though. He clocked the judge's question.
And then he started talking about the lights. Cool.
He did see what he was trying to do. This is way too sharp. He says it seems like, in my opinion, it seemed like the judge was not buying this whole secluded area thing. He wanted to see his own version of a secluded area, and despite not seeing, a traffic of civilians or movement of ordinary people, that to him, it didn't matter that this place we are at, is it typical? I don't even remember him asking a question that, is it typical to see members of the public just enter the space and walk about? Or do you need to go through security? Because I'm not seeing much of that. It's just us. Maybe if he had asked that question, I would say he's more, objective. But he didn't even ask that question. He had just made conclusions.
Just looking for gray areas.
Yes.
Where can I find a leap of hope? Where can I find life? I cannot breathe. There is a firehouse or something like that.
It seemed like he had already taken Brigadier GININDA's version of saying that there were civilians, the place is busy. It's impossible that could have happened there because there was movement. Remember, he was even talking about a taxi rank. He was talking about a shopping mall. He was talking about a police station.
I never heard the judge talking about that because the judge would have pointed it out. believe in
He
me.
was looking for something. That's why they're pointing out of the fire brigades. They're pointing out, he was trying to support this claim that there's no way that could have happened there because there were people. And then you guys are saying, those who are saying that he's not biased, those who are saying that we must ignore these things. These things are hectic.
Allegedly biased.
Allegedly, but they are hectic, you know. And then Nisi said that the judge wanted Mr. SBIYA to show where that secluded area is. And then he added a bit there to say that I don't know whether he must show or he must say why he says that this place was secluded, because he had already clocked what the judge was trying to do, and he said we need to get clarification on that. The judge asked for him to show them, and Mr. SBIYA said that the reason why he said that this place was secluded, he described it as indawo eseceleni esithekile, you know, meaning that it's not seen by typical.
I must applaud that man of MUZI. He might not have been learned like other colleagues in that court, but he is sounding to me as a smart person. And his answers, you don't need to lead him. His answers are straight to what you are trying to do. There, his answering was clear and precise. According to me, if you put cars this side and this area in front, no one walks there, then you have hidden me from the only thing that can have a chance of seeing me.
Yes.
And we are talking about moving cars in any case there. We are not talking about cars standing there, people grooving, waiting for such things to happen, right? He explained it properly. You know, other witnesses would need a judge to start shouting or doing things. For someone who's not learned that much, unlike other smart colleagues, it's sharp, Leandro. It's very sharp.
Well, he said that the reason why he's saying that is because GININDA was describing the police station, which is across, and it has an open area. We did see it. It does have an open area. So he told Advocate Nisi that this place is not open, where they were standing and where he says he did get assaulted, according to his version. The place is not open. You cannot see. He says a person who's over there on the other side, especially across the parked cars, where the judge managed to see a fire brigade, that side. He's saying when the cars are parked there, there's nowhere where you can see where they were literally standing and assaulting him and had surrounded him. He says there's no way the person who was that side could have seen what was happening to him over there. So Badloy asked if it was secluded or obscure, and Nisi said that when he was putting his version, he referred to it as a secluded area or an obscure spot. Remember, Advocate Nisi, is the reason that this inspection in loco is even happening to begin with, because he wanted to see the visuals and have the court see the visuals of what accused number one was saying. Right, because in that court it was getting wishy-washy, meshy. Even I was getting confused, because at some point Brigadier GININDA is talking about the Vosloorus police station parking lot, while MUZI SBIYA was talking about a different parking lot. So today he showed us the parking lot that he was talking about that is secluded, and accused number one said that it is secluded because a person standing across the parked vehicles.
Sorry, Amen. Before I lose, I hear people saying, "Oh, it was a waste of time." Indeed, I mean, just what you just have highlighted there. There is parking on both sides. And did you hear how in court GININDA was pressing on the parking of the court? My lord, how can I do that in front of the court and all that?
Yes.
And that's the theory that was given.
Yes.
Now that accused number, they have shown you what the parking
lot
is
referring
to him.
to. Yes, where they did this to him.
It's a different story now.
Yes.
But if you listen to that parking word on both of them, it sounded like they are not talking on cross purposes. But after the pictures and what we saw, now you realize, they are actually on cross purposes.
Yes. Yes, that was the point of this whole inspection in
Because if you look at the defense, GININDA is saying, he was even saying over there's court, there's what.
There's a taxi rank.
There's a taxi rank.
There's a shopping complex. People are moving about and moving around. How could we have done that, my lord? How would we have done that in front of so many people?
So you see, you would be lost.
Yeah.
You would be totally lost.
Nisi was definitely.
Today, you are cleared.
Yes.
Today, you understand that
what he was talking about.
2 buildings, 2 parkings.
Yes.
The other, you can use a taxi rank to actually defend yourself, which is a police station. You can also use High Court to defend yourself.
Yes.
And apparently, I heard there's a big light there. There's everything that is suitable for the state to defend themselves. The other one, you would have to look far and see some fire station to defend yourself, and you'll have to make a huge allegation of traffic department that opens 24 hours.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things, and they were working during that. You see, that's a different story.
Yes. He said that at the time there was no movement.
Ngoba uGININDA uyayiphika le theory ukuthi there was a situation in that. Why do they even need to defend with the fireplace and whatnot and the traffic whatnot and whatnot? Because I exist again.
Yeah, it doesn't
Things
exist
did not
him.
happen.
Yes, they happened in the parking
why?
of the police station, Vosloorus police station. So I don't know why this defense, when it comes to the one that accused number 1 is speaking about, because if it didn't happen and you don't know the place, then why do you want to defend? I mean, that is baffling. Like, why are you trying to look for stuff that can debunk what he said? Whether you were at the Vosloorus police station, leave it there. Accused number 1 says he
and
was
clearly
there.
one question that was not okay, obvious, Balo only asking. The other question that I would have asked is, how do you know the distance from this place to that place? Have you ever been in this area?
Before, yeah.
You are explaining now how...
Because he was even given directions of how they needed to get out.
How long it will take to reach the court on the other side.
Have you been here before?
He was saying they should be using cars because walking might take
a long time. Manje, why are you giving us directions? Do you know this place? That is what I needed them to ask him. Do you know this place we are taking? You're even showing us the way. You're taking charge. I mean, do you know this place? Have you been here before?
Have you ever utilized it? Perhaps?
So he said that at the time there was no movement, there were no people moving, and it was only parked vehicles. There was no moving cars as well. And he said if there's anything to add, they will add it in court. So someone asked who were the police officers that were there, and when he was accused number 1 was getting assaulted, accused number 1 said that it was Mohola. There were other traffic officers. He also counted Mapumulo, and the one who's now late, I think he meant Sergeant Mabena and Ngamani, and the others he could not remember.
Abafana bamyeki baphe kwakhe. And Tino Ungqamani is always gonna be there. You know, they are not letting go of this Ngqamani. Whether you want to disclose this Ngqamani or not, Ngqamani was there.
The judge wanted to know how many police officers were involved on the alleged assault on the 30th of May. And he said that he won't be able to say who was doing the beating because his face was covered, remember. And he could only feel as they were doing the kicking and the beating. So all the police, literally according to him, might as well have been assaulting him because he can't be specific.
That was a not so clever question. Because if I'm there, whether I kick or not, as a police officer, I'm supposed to be, when I see anything wrong that is being done by my colleagues, I'm supposed to stop them. I'm supposed to make a report. If I don't do that, then I've participated one way or another.
You're just like a person who's participated.
By aiding and abetting.
Yeah. So Mnisi wanted to know an estimate of how many police officers were there. And accused number 1 said that plus or minus 14, those wearing uniform and those who were wearing private clothing. He said that on the 5th, the number had reduced, the 5th of June 2020, the number had reduced, although he can't be specific, but there were as many as on the 30th, maybe plus or minus 10, he estimated. So from there, they moved to the side of the police station, the one Brigadier GININDA was talking about in court, using the pictures, the trial pictures. And he was giving directions from that place to the police station. He said that it's the next block. And it's a standalone building. So they walked out of that municipality area to the police station. Well, not all of them walked out, of course. Brigadier GININDA and Sergeant Mohola there, I spotted them. The cameraman captured them in that BMW that was brought, the AVL records were brought to court. I also saw that some of the court officials were using vehicles. I did see Nisi and Ramosipili walking, as well as the journalists, the media reports, and some of the correctional officers, as well as the other police officers were walking there, literally. It's only those who chose to drive that chose to drive, but it wasn't a long walk. I would estimate for 10 minutes in so 5 minutes. 5 minute walk.
On a normal day, it should be less than that, actually.
So now when they went to this other side of this police station, we started to now see the movements of people. I saw them. I saw that, okay, here, abantu bakhona lana. I mean, there were people standing, some people were walking. You could see that, okay, kukhona abantu lana, it wasn't as dry as that other side. And it was not quite as the that other side that they had started it. So I noticed that. I noticed it. And then I also noticed Advocate Mshololo passing by, walking next to Sergeant Mohola. And she said that she's showing me. I don't know whether she was telling CRISELDA or telling everybody who was looking at her to say that, no, I'm walking. She's showing me lapho bebemshayela khona estate, she's showing me where they were beating him, accused number 1, I guess, estate. And then Advocate Baloyi said that they were there to point to the place where Brigadier GININDA said he met accused number 1 inside the Red Golf of Sergeant Mohola and the parking lot of Vosloorus police station. So that's his version. He says he was asking him questions inside Sergeant Mohola's car. And he said that he spoke to accused number 1 inside the Red Golf. Now that we saw the police station, okay, that's my question. I have a question. We saw the police station and he's saying, did you notice that was literally like 10 steps away from the police station entrance? So he couldn't have taken accused number 1 inside the police station, sat with him down properly, and then filled out a warning statement and did everything.
The explanation of why that did not happen is just beyond me. It seems to insinuate there was nothing there. But why was he there then? I mean, any police station can be used for the purpose of SAPS, right? So, but
they are police officers.
In fact, as far as Senzo's case, it was the right police station.
In fact, why not walk inside and make everything formal? Now you are here today defending yourself when you could have just walked inside, sat down with the accused.
Because inside you would need to fill in some certain files.
OB books, something. Why? Like now that I'm looking.
In fact, I would have used that as a judge. If I say I believe that yes, there was a beating, which in my opinion I do believe, I would have used that. The fact that you were this close to police, in fact, you say you were within the premises of the police station.
Yes.
But you didn't take an initiative to take a safe route. You decided to interview someone in a car,
Inside a car.
and then disappear with them. Maybe it's because they were bruised. That's why you didn't want to go inside. Maybe it's because they were bruised. So I therefore believe their version that they were beaten. No other explanation can be explained. To me that would make me understand. There is no other explanation. You know.
So GININDA now started explaining his version. The judge asked him how he got there, and he said he drove his own car. Okay, and he parked in one of the 2 parking areas. The pedestrian entrance was opposite where he parked. He also showed the entrance of the car, and
Please
then from
water,
there
Emily.
they went to Egerton.
Please, guys, press the like button. You are even choking. You are even choking here, Emily. We are choking
I need a cup.
For people who are not, let me hide you for the sake of not advertising.
Yes, please.
People are not liking. You are choking here. You are choking. People are buying gain. Buffoon. It's Friday, guys. Press the like button. Just assist with the like button. 635. We only have 300. That's closer to half the people that are here who have not liked. But yeah, I'm now showing you, Emily.
Okay, hopefully, let me push one last time. I don't know what's happening, but my throat is acting up. Now, at this point, Nisi told them that they will make their own observations because Brigadier GININDA was now saying that it's a standalone building. The court, the police station was standalone buildings. And then Nisi told him, no, Mr. GININDA, we'll make our own observations. You cannot influence our mind. We'll make our own observations, okay? Then the judge came in and said that, let him explain. We were not there. And then Nisi says, I think we'll make our own observations, whether this is a standalone building or what. And he said, that's the reason why we came here, for the inspection loco, to see it for ourselves. The judge asked GININDA if the building behind him was the court, and he said yes. And he asked if the court and the police station were divided by the wall that he pointed at. The judge asked how they accessed the court building. Then GININDA showed him. Okay. Baloy pointed at the lights. A big light in front of the entrance.
These things, when Emily, they are very helpful. These follow-up questions of a judge. And they must be followed, Pella. You can't just give a follow-up and it's not followed. So you'll hear such questions then after such clarity-seeking questions.
Nisi said, yeah, lights we can see, but you don't know what was the state of the lights on that day. Because at the beginning, they were asked, was it light? Was it dark? What do you remember about it? The brightness. And they were very, very, we don't know whether it was light, dark, or we don't know. They were very much, on the fence. Yeah, so this was like, okay, Advocate Mnisi is awake, okay?
Ayumnisi ngazuthi uthole extra
He's awake.
pay. Yabona indlela alwa ngayo.
Uvukile, like nothing is slipping by.
Nah, he's fighting now.
Gininda said that he recalls that there was Mukhola Buthelezi and the late Sergeant Mabena there, and accused number 1 was inside the Red Golf of Sergeant Mukhola on the 30th, and he said he never saw accused number 1 on the 5th. The pointing out was done by Sergeant Mokhane and Colonel Hadebe on the 5th of June. So Advocate Baloi said that there was a suggestion that they should also make a turn where the incident happened at Kutlanong Street, but arrangements had not been made with the tenants of that house. Apparently they needed to speak to the current tenants of the Spaza house to let them know that such things would be happening. And Nisi said, unless they just go and see the area vicinity, like if there's a park that is mentioned and all of that, and the judge said that he can do that, he can't do that because it is not in the record. It's a standalone application. You can't say, now let's go see Humpty Dumpty. No, you can't. For the first time in a long time, Brigadier Gininda was asked if he had anything extra to add, and he had nothing to share. For the first time, he always has to say something.
Or maybe he was saving them for Monday.
Or the 21st. I think they're coming back on the 21st.
But maybe, and they are coming on Monday.
They're coming on
convening
Monday.
I heard something of that nature.
How? So that concluded the inspection in loco, and they made their way back to the Pretoria High Court, but the visuals were not shared. So what I got from the reporters is that they actually will be resuming their points on the 21st of July. But Mr. Anonymous is saying that they're coming back on Monday.
I'm not saying that. I just heard Monday.
You just heard Monday. I asazi ke siyobona Monday was what happens. We'll be on the lookout, of course.
So this is the time now.
You guys can call in. I'm done.
Where people can
My
call.
poor throat.
I saw someone who was trying to call and I ignored the call.
No, we are sorry for ignoring your call. You can call in now. Please call in and save my voice. My voice is showing me flames. So, and again, today I wished, I don't know, guys, but I just had that wish that I wish that Mgome Zulu was there. I don't know why, but I just felt
Mzansi, hello.
Hi, Mr. Anwen.
Hi.
I'm good. Thanks for covering the inspection in loco. What a brilliant analysis. Thank you. Yeah.
We had to. Thank you so much.
Now, good. I've got few pointers to discuss, and I also have got some questions. Mr. Ano and Miss Family, I must say today I am disappointed you are not part of the inspection in loco. I was actually looking for you in those pictures.
Like CRISELDA there.
Yes,
like CRISELDA there, walking there amongst the cars.
Working there. Yeah, but I must give Ubed Zwendaba her flowers. The reporting was top notch.
Yes.
It was top notch. I must give her credit. Zwendaba did a very good job. I was watching away in Sydney, but I felt like I'm in Fostoras. I'm telling you.
Yes.
I was watching it was a nice covering of them. Thanks to Ubed Zwendaba.
Yes.
SABC, well done. Well done. This is the reporting I'm expecting from SABC. It was top. Yeah, and then I'll go to my point. Mr. Anu, the purpose of the inspection is very well demonstrated. It's never now we are confused about the parking that these two guys are talking about. We have got a clear idea where SBIYA is narrating his story and where GININDA is narrating his story.
Yes.
And to a person who has got a common sense, I know in the court they like to use common sense. How can you say, please wait for me at Phosphorus, and then they wait for Brigadier at that parking that is in front of the police station? And then why can't you, when Brigadier arrives there, why can't he say, Mr. SBIYA, let's go inside? And then he logs in, gets a room, sit down with SBIYA, and interview him. Why interview him inside the car when he's at the police station? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't.
No.
That's one. Yeah, that's one. And then Mr. Arno, 30th of May was a Sunday, 2020. It was a Saturday. So whoever comes with a story that traffic department for driver license was working 24/7, he's talking something that I'll call nonsense. Because those guys, they don't work. They don't work on Saturday. Those guys, they don't work on Saturday at all.
No, they don't.
And then, and to add to what SBIYA is saying, that the place was quiet. On top of it being COVID where there was lockdown, you see those buildings are all municipal offices. Mr. Arno, municipality workers, they don't work on Saturday. They don't. So there was no one, even in those offices where they were saying the windows there is no one who can even look there can see.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one. And then I know the issue of the word of secluded.
Yes.
SBIYA explained it in Senzo, where the translation is now transmitted to excluded or not, but he did explain it according to him in Senzo, which was clear that it's not an area where a person can just see you what's going on. It's a little bit hidden, which is straightforward. I don't know why the judge wanted to clarify. And then SBIYA, what SBIYA has done, or in fact, I must give credit to Advocate Nis, was to cast doubt on the state's version. He has cast doubt, and that's all what the defense needs to. SBIYA doesn't need to prove that what is the matter. He just cast doubt what GININDA was saying, right? And what I'm now waiting for is Rams. We must do a same application, but for Ntandi. Because, Mr. Arno, if this inspection loco was done when we were doing the trial within a trial, I'm telling you, those confessions were going to be thrown out, those things. They were going to be thrown out, those things. To say, no, I can't consider this thing. Because if for us who have been following the case, we now have got full context to what, because, the guy who passed away, the lawyer.
Yeah.
The lawyer, Gomezulu. He kept on mentioning that the minister, but me, I thought it was some place that was before you go to that police station, like far. He kept on mentioning it, and now when SBIYA is going there, I see it's just next to the police station. And the guy keeps on saying they beat me here, and then they made me sign it, which to me is a good version of what he actually said. And then the other thing, Mr. Where is the hostel, man? I did not see the hostel, man. I was looking for the hostel. Where was the hostel where that people, remember the one they had to evacuate people from the hostel? Where was that hostel today? I didn't see it, man.
Maybe it was a firefighters.
No, that's why the brigadier was wearing that gear like he's going to play squad game. It's like a squad game, that suit of his, man. Yeah, he wanted us to believe that it's very dangerous in that area. And I'm telling you, that place is not dangerous. And you see, all those accused, there was no need for them to go with all those guns. I know they are dangerous criminals, but if you've got two police officers carrying rifles and two others carrying a small pistol, those guys are not going to run away. They already changed. How did they run away? They were not going to do anything, but they just wanted to create this thing that is dangerous and all that. I'm also just glad nothing happened. Everyone returned to Pretoria in peace, but we were able to see what happened. Thanks, guys. And that's just my key pointer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Yeah. Next, better caller. Next caller. Hey, people are still calling the wrong number. Wait. Don't call this number. 071 153 7006 for both WhatsApp and what do you call it? For both WhatsApp and direct calling. Zanzi, hello.
Hey, thank you. Morning gang also awake today. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Mr. Anu. But thank you to Mr. Junior Anu or Miss Junior Anu. Where is he or where is he? We have to acknowledge that some days you are three in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's an extra cast member.
You know, that is a member in the making.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm grateful that we went for a loco today. And I believe this is now an opening for the defense to capitalize on. In the sense that if we can do a loco, if we can do a loco for the Spaza House too, because remember for the Oscar Pistorius, Mangena brought the door to the court. Now he was not able to bring the door to the court. Let's go to the door.
Yes.
So that now they can begin to unpack for us what really happened in the Spaza House. Those ones that jumped, then they should go jump so that we see how they were able to jump and how are they able to throw crutches at people with guns. And then it will make it very clear how then the scene was tampered with.
Yes.
And importantly also then Tanziwan. Then we will be able to see those places that the judge wanted to say are weird in terms of Tanzi's explanation. We will then begin to see them. So I think we need those three applications for the in-loco, the Spaza House itself, and the inside of the house, the street and inside the house, and then Tanziwan now. Kasuthu uthi silo satsunyana hasihlomile phakwe, literally meaning there's that bird when we are growing up which would come and snatch the chicks from the mother hen. Even if that chick were to make noise, that bird will still take that chick and run away with it. So for me, what has happened is, Judge, when you saw the severe demonstrate what happened, then that will touch anyone who has a heart to say the way this person is demonstrating what happened, what the caller just said, there is doubt that has been cast. Because indeed, SBIYA was reliving the torturous moments that he experienced twice. And therefore, even body language, which is one of the greatest languages, it's not an official language anywhere in the world, but that's the greatest language that we can use to communicate. And coming to your comment, Emily,
yes,
GININDA had to come dressed like that. He had to, because his body language was going to give him away. That's the first thing. Therefore, he needs to hide himself so that we cannot see what the body language is saying inside all those things that I can't even explain what they're called.
Yes.
And number two, they gave us an impression that this would be an expensive exercise and they have to do all those tontoni, which then we wake up, they are already doing local when they were supposed to be planning how to do this high-level local. But they did it and it went well. So the rifle that he's carrying was to also give us an impression that he's ready to fight anything that can come and disturb the whole thing, so that he then gives an impression to the red gown, allegedly, that indeed it was very dangerous for the red gowns to be around this place. Let's protect the red guns, and he forgets, as you are saying, the rifle is for long range. Therefore, if the red gown is close to you, you get different firearm. But I'm worried, Mr. Arno and Emily, you seem to know guns. You are supposed not to know those things even to explain them. But now you are explaining them so well. So the last local that I then want, the third one, is the George Koch and the Basutin hostel itself. So that now those pictures that we were showing in court of Ngube dressed in brown, we see where at the Basutu hostel he was standing, and we go see at George Koch where he was standing. Then, indeed, I want to agree with those that say we are nearing the end of this case because the witness is on fire. Then that means for me, he might be gathering enough intelligence to then apply for that section. They said it's 173, I don't know. So that now he has evidence to use for the 173, and therefore this gets out of court. But please, if you have a way of talking to this defense, can you ask them to put on record when they go back to court the meaning of secluded? Because I don't think they understand secluded today. Secluded just says it's an isolated place.
Yes.
It's a place that is not busy.
Yes.
It's a place that is not frequented.
Yes.
Colleagues, during lockdown, even your house was secluded. You were the only animal inside it. Even to go to the police station, it was secluded. It was only every place was secluded. So if today he forgets what secluded means when he knows English, then let him try looking at antonyms, because then antonyms are even a lot clearer. Any place that is not visited by many people, then it is a secluded place. A public place is an antonym for a secluded place. So I think we will teach the red gown. It's not a doctoral gown. Remember, doctoral people wear those red gowns. So sometimes I think he needs to be reminded, allegedly. Thank you so much. You are doing a good job.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. You've said mouthful there.
Yeah. Especially the hammering of this secluded.
Someone saying, "Hi, Mr. Ano." Yes, indeed, the secluded needs to be explained on record. Hi, Mr. Ano. I think Nisi must get a photo of that place taken 5 years ago, because that place has been renovated 2 years ago. I think is able to defend that position in a sense that you don't need to prove much. You know, the state bears that part of being needed to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Someone, hi, I know, and Ems, please send me okay. Okay, I almost read this. We will do so. Zansi, hello.
Really, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm speaking to Bongs from Cape Town, guys.
Hi, Bongs.
Yes, Bongs.
Man, you see, this case is frustrating, but it's a blessing in disguise in the manner of exposing the rot in our justice system.
Yes.
The reason I'm saying that, man, you are the judge. You have the accused in court who's going for inspection in loco. The guy is giving you direction, is giving you, when you drive, you take this road, you join it here, and then you drop me there. From there, I will lead the proceeding. And then you still ask some doubting questions from that person. Bear in mind, the guy didn't record anything. He didn't have a paper and pen. He was cuffed. But he's using his memory against the people who are recording everything. And against the people who are recording what suits them. As you said, Mr. Anonymous, you are GININDA. The proper jurisdiction of that case is phosphorus. If that case were to be transferred from lower court to Pretoria High Court, because they say the High Court have this inherent jurisdiction, but using the same legal jargon, if that case were to be transferred from lower court, that case was supposed to start at phosphorus magistrate, and then that will be that magistrate who transferred that case to High Court. Now you are within the jurisdiction of this case. You can't even take 10-meter walk and get the proper resources, record whatever you are doing with this suspect. The defense, I think they must use, if you remember those statements, they were hammering.
Hello.
We are losing you.
My network is bad. If you remember the defense when they were asking about those statements,
Yes.
GININDA could have walked in there and get a proper resources and conduct proper interview. But why he didn't do that? Because the situation, maybe he doesn't have police officers who are so familiar with his game or who are in his camp. Because within the police, what I've seen, there are camps within the police, the SAPS. Maybe the phosphorus camp is different or is opposite to his doings as a line of work. So that's why he couldn't go there with MUZI after the beating. And to clear this thing, there are people who just follow this case and some they catch this version in a manner which suits their narrative and GININDA. I saw someone asking on a comment to clear that, someone asking, MUZI said he was in a building, assaulted in a room, and then brought walking with a written confession and told him, if you don't sign, these people will continue assault you. MUZI never said that. MUZI said at the police station, not in that municipal building. At the police station, he was assaulted and then brought a walk in and said, if you don't sign this, these people will continue assaulting you. People mustn't be confused. Or those who have not been following this case, they mustn't come and project some people as fools and otherwise, like they are the only ones who listen like RATHA.
Let me save you the high blood pressure. There is an app that is meant for certain people who think the certain way. If you go there, you will have a problem. I
don't even entertain them. I just look and say, man, you have not been following this case. I don't even engage them, man. It's a waste of time, man.
Yeah.
That app.
I don't even engage them.
When I went to that app, I almost fell down. I was like, eh?
If you remember, around last year when they were coming up with this age of confessions, I told you the best way for them is just block and move on. I blocked a lot of people. For this case, just for this, I don't know how many people have blocked me because it's a waste of time engaging them. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Someone just with laughing emoji. Abeli, wati umkhwanazi kuma taxi owner. Vela nilanda ibhamzeno nami ngizolandeza vele kuliwe. He finished me. If GININDA is doing his job properly and he's innocent, why is he hiding from the citizens? Very good question. I was so happy to hear SBIYA emphasizing to RATHA that the incident happened during the lockdown when SBIYA was on the floor explaining everything. It broke my heart. Jehovah aga ngenelele uGININDA simnikela izandla za Jehovah. Yakhumbula labafana basho ukuthi babe khapwe ngebhamu eyiningi, even magistrate, lot of heavily armed people, police. Today GININDA with that gun and all the gear, he proved ukuthi bayathanda ukusabisa. All is alleged. Kunjalo nje bafethu, siyabonga. Please keep calling. Asibonga ma calls aweze ma calls, let them keep them coming and press the like button, please. Oh, I'm gonna have to show my rifle too. The number to call is 071. Yes. Mzansi, hello.
Show my rifle too.
Mr. Ano.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and how are you?
I'm alright.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
How?
So you were dreaming and then you wake up, you call.
Hayi, ngayithola phakathi. Bengicela ukukhuluma isiZulu sizongixolela.
Ulimi noma yiluphi alinankinga.
Okay. Number 1, ngithanda ukubonga umnisi womvula. Ngithanda istamina sakhe, forcing udwa namabhubesi. And forcing uzuphumelele. That was a great thing for him. And sambona nathi singabalandeli bale case. Yabonga kakhulu. And then second, nakathi GININDA, yabona le gate encane ila abantu bangena khona babeze police station. At some point I thought there was a distance between the gate aphuma ngayo nomnyango we-police station.
Yes.
And ngiyabonga ukuthi abomuzi they insisted ukuthi bacela ukungena endlini encane. That's what CRISELDA said. Ungena laphana it was less than 10 steps njengoba usho Mr. Ano. So ebekhulwa yini GININDA ungena lapha phakathi athole a room. Athole correct paperwork ukuthi abhale i-statement kahle. Umuntu ngoba uyamsola phela ngithi bamselile ukuthi this is the case. Ayibekumele angene police station athole zonke imfanelo ze-right lapha police station. Okusho khona ukuthi uyisigebengu lo baba.
Allegedly.
Yes. Njengoba namhlanje black man. Black Spider-Man. Siyambona singumphakathi. Siyambona. And the same, as much as the first caller said, ukuthi i-body language says a lot.
Yes.
Akaze ngambona uba lo yenzi mina. Vis-a-vis compared to Scully case. That person was confident enjani. Angisamazi nalo ba lo engimbona namhlanje.
Are you saying it's deteriorating from the energy that he gave to the first one?
Yes, the energy and the posture and that ego yamadoda. The way he had the Macquarie case. Vis-a-vis what I saw today. No, I don't know about Chanel.
Ushokanje?
I can support. Success use the food. I get a school again this boogie case. Get a success use the last year.
Sizoyibuka ngedatha ungcono kocisha ugesi ngoba nawo mawucishile we still
ngisho noma kucisha ugesi.
Noma ungacisha ugesi, noma ungacisha kodwa ifilimu izodlala.
Izodlala ifilimu.
Izodlala bangazama uGININDA but ifilimu izodlala.
Siyabonga.
Nanoma sebekubuhlungu ukubabona bengena evenini kuyabona not even being assisted. You are kept la inyawo ukhona ungena kahle. Guys, that is sad. Even if noma besho ke phela ukuthi yigibe ngezinkangakanani. But because umuntu ekugcineni, right? You need to be treated with dignity umuntu even if kwaziwa ukuthi unjani. But you still need to, you deserve that dignity umuntu.
Yeah.
No, nami ngithi ngibonga umsebenzi wenu omuhle. Nami ngiyi-morning gang.
Siyabonga.
Morning
gang. Buke ebuthokweni. Ngayithola phezulu bona.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
All right, thanks, bye.
But in the morning gang, press the like button to show there's morning gang. You know, morning gang, they push. You can just give them 100 likes and they come in and please press the like button, guys. I'm joking. Everyone is important. Press the like button and keep them calls coming. It's Friday. Bedindengane nje eshisayo. I'm in local meeting mod. Press the like button. Never. Press the like button, guys. Let's keep the calls coming. And the number to call is 071-153-7006. Yes. You are dropping now. You are dropping. Don't drop. Call direct. Don't drop. Ungasigazi. Keep them calls coming. Keep them calls coming. Siyabonga kulabo abasendela love. Thank you very much. Emedi.
Yes.
Mina ke mase kunje vele ngenze kanje. All right. Mzansi, hello. Hello.
Oh.
Hi. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Now I can also hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. You can continue putting your thoughts. Hi, we can hear you.
Hi. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Thanks for taking my call, guys. Few points I wanted to raise. One was that I'm not happy with all this case, but I wanna recommend the state for allowing those guys to have no handcuffs in their hands. We know are hardened criminals, but they had some dignity over there today or yesterday. We've seen people, especially here in America, when they go into local, they'll have like handcuffs in their hands. They can't even move their hands, chains everywhere. So that gave that spirit of Ubuntu. So it gave that hope that at least, they are being treated like human beings. That's my first point. Yeah. The second point is, this is what has been bothering me for the past few weeks. I've been asking my question, why we never have video and voice recording of all these confessions and the pointing out. And I've been wondering and being confused because it never makes no sense to me. Why would you say somebody made a confession, but somebody typed it? And today, I had that answer right there. That guy is laying on the ground giving us an explanation of what happened to him. And then afterwards, there's a statement of him confessing, there's pointing out. Those pointing out, somebody just standing there and pointing at something. And these judges are out there convicting people every day of a picture of somebody pointing. There's no voice, there's no video recording.
Yeah.
And that's an issue that South Africans should look at from now on. If somebody made a statement or they made a confession, we need to see a video or a voice recording. We need to hear his voice. We need to see him speaking.
Yes.
Because we cannot be taken listen to GININDA's fancy English. He's just writing these statements for a guy on his fancy English, and we think it's MUZI who made that statement. It's no way. And today we had that right there in our eyes. That was a good example. That's why we need a video and voice recording of all these statements, confessions, or pointing out. And I can tell you guys, that's what South Africa has been convicting thousands of people over, confession and statement. If you listen to GININDA, he don't care about anything else. He's going to say, but they confessed. Because he knows that's what his case is, They can say anything they want, but they confess. And that's the hill the defense has to climb. And right now, this was a very good move and a good strategy, but there's still a long way to go to prove they were coerced. And I think my last point, what the state did, the biggest mistake they did, to prove their case, they allowed all the police that were mentioned by the accused when they say we were being coerced, we were beaten up. They called all those police one by one to confess. And those police were first introduced by the suspects. And I think that's where, the state missed it. Because all those guys were introduced, yes.
They are showing consistent relationship with these guys. With these
guys, yes.
No, I get you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah, you're right. By calling them, it made GININDA must release a song, Dubula Dubula, the real Mzege Zege. Hopefully, Mr. Anonymous, you are not hidden with a rifle lap. Hey, Bagitai, Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Press that like button. Mzansi, hello. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, morning.
Morning.
Yeah, speaking to Danny from Pretoria.
Danny from?
Danny.
Yes. I just want to throw one or two of mine. Actually, when I saw the loco, the inspection loco, it clicked to me why this guy was taken there. Because you remember he was arrested in Tembisa.
Yes.
And then immediately after they took him to a municipal, he said what looks like a municipal building. And then they put him in a room and they kicked him up until he messed himself, and then they went back for him to change.
Yes.
Yeah. And then again, after he changed, they took him to Foslo.
Yeah.
Because, and again, they still took him to the municipal building, because that where they were today is a municipal building.
Yeah.
And then a municipal building houses, normally it houses the admin block of the maybe where they do admin municipal offices, and also normally you'll find a small fire station inside the yard, and then also you'll find the metropolis.
Okay.
Because there are metropolis or offices there in that small thing. Where they were now they were against the wall of the municipal offices, but at the back immediately there's a metropolis offices. With a Gruleni metropolis office.
Okay.
It means those people, the Abu Jonathan, they are familiar with that place. That's where they work. All these Gruleni municipal whatever, they've got a metropolis next to them. So they took him there because they know there is a secluded, because Ego Koning or something.
Yeah.
Because there's a BMN road where there's when they were moving to the police station, where there was a traffic, that's the main entrance, But when you turn into the municipal building, it's quiet because there's no way the public can go there. It's like you're entering the municipal area, even though there's a gate. Opposite the gate of that, where they were, is a training center of the IT. They call the G Sport IT Center, where they train people and they also fix computers. So it's like a school, which is like a training where people come and train to fix them. So it's not a public space.
Yes.
Also, even where they were, across the road is a training center. They look it. It's like a school, which is there's no public there. That's small. Even that's small from the main road to the municipal building. That road is not even marked, on the map. Meaning that is a dead spot when it comes to the public.
Yes.
And then they took him there to torture him further, because maybe in Tembisa, maybe where they were, it was not the right spot for them. They needed a place where they can continue where they left off in Tembisa. That's why when they went in the morning on the 5th, they were the same spot, because that's their spot. That's where they work, Abu Jonathan. Yes. That's where they do the dirty job. But in front of the police station, there is not possible. It doesn't make sense to take him there and then interview him inside. What was the reason of taking him to Foslo?
It's not clear even today for me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that they can to say they are doing further investigation. They were going to torture him first. You see?
I hear you.
It's a torture spot there. There's no people who are moving around. Because our Jonathan, they know who's in the building. Even if the fire, but the Murphy is only one fire truck. And then it's not like 24. There are fire people waiting for the fire there. It's not like any. Plus, it was COVID. It means in the offices there was nobody.
Yes.
It was just a death spot. Good for torturing, yeah.
Yeah. Very nice, quiet one.
Danji mentioned the other day to say they went to fetch Mboto at the hospital. When they were going from they say, remember there was this thing to say when the car went past the hospital, we're talking about Barana.
Yeah, Bara, yes.
So say when it went bridge, the network to the tracker, it went, what do you call it? Where it is like the network went away.
They say loading or something like that.
GPS unlocked.
What?
GPS unlocked.
Yeah, GPS unlocked. When you go in, if you check, I have I was checking somewhere, I end up finding the coordinates during the GPS unlock. Actually, the car moved from the main road, the 4-track road. It entered the hospital and then it stayed there because even though GPS is unlocked, it still shows the coordinates. So the car was at 0. It was not moving because even the kilometer says the speed says 0, but it says GPS unlocked, but it shows the coordinate. It spent almost like 10 minutes there before it moved forward to the Moroka police station. But they deny it. I don't know whether the defense maybe can find those GPS, the AVL records. They'll see during that GPS unlock, the car was stationary in the hospital parking area.
Hey, you know now you want to dispute the expect, while these people they are capable of disputing the evidence of an expect when it comes to DNA. You now want to dispute their that is gonna be
it's a problem. But the other thing, this AVL records, that's where you can see they're necessary, because if you can get one car, the Metro Corps, that's their building. They can't afford to show one car with the AVL records of one car. It will show that those cars were there, It was not in front of the police station.
Yes.
Yeah, so that thing too, I think they torture people there regularly. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. No, that's what
Thank you.
Everything is
taking my cost.
Everything is alleged. Thank you. Yes. And the views of the caller. Nsansi, hello.
Hi, Mr. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm also anonymous.
Not a problem.
But I'm calling you from Mpangeni. How are you, Sister Millie?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well. Today, if we had some charge, not the one that we're having on this trial.
Yes.
On the 21st of July, this case will be thrown out. Yeah, due to the inspection in loco. And I was so amazed to see Brigadier GININDA, because I never had even a picture of him in my mind. But when I see him today, I was expecting a big fat man. But to put 2 cents on what the guys are discussing about.
Yes.
This guy, the caller that I'm phone behind him. Yeah, the points that he's making, I was also about to make those points.
Yes.
But these guys from Metro, they know that place.
Yes.
And when you see the inspection in logo today versus Mr. GININDA's testimony,
yes,
it's totally different.
It is.
It is totally different. It's different. And even today, he was trying to convince the judge to take his version. And the minister jumps in and saying that's why there's an inspection in local for us to see for ourselves, not for you to see. You see.
Yes.
But anyway, keep up the good work, guys. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Banjani abantu lapha embanjeni?
Hayi ba right.
Ba right kakhulu.
Hayi ba right.
Sibonge lapha embanjeni. Ngeke ngafika kulezo ndawo lapha kosikhaweni. Ngafika nje. Ngithi ngizobheka ukuthi nenzani lapha embanjeni.
Ayiziyakhala empangeni.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Thank you.
Yeah, nami ngifisa ngathi ngaba nentombazane na 29 but ubreakadia. Thank you, bye.
Bye. Mzanzelo.
Hi, Mitano.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Sorry, I forgot. I called earlier, but I forgot this other 2 points, right?
Yes.
Was this torturing of SBIYA? Did it happen at night or it was during the day?
What time was he arrested? In the afternoon, the first one, I think. He was arrested.
Yeah, on the 30th. Yeah.
On the 30th.
Yeah, because I'm just
around 7. Let's say it could be around.
No, it was after 2 p.m.
After 2 p.m. Yes. And then
I know. No, the reason I was saying, I'm trying to think what was that situation of the light by Baloyi where you were saying, oh, there was a light.
It could not have been applicable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, and then my second point is now it is the defense has taken the game to the state to bring those ADLs. They need to bring the ADLs of those metro cops and all those monoculars and the ready to go to show us that they were not in that party with me or something about. They were in the police station. It's up to them now.
I agree. Those things are not forthcoming.
Yeah, no. I remember. No, that was the defense. The defense is what that was asking, right? That time, and then it was not forthcoming. And I'm saying what SBIYA has done is he has thrown the ball at the state now. Say, hey, come and prove that you are not there.
Yes.
Now throwing it at the state. Yes. So we wait and see if they will ever bring it, because that will be the only way that they can dispute what SBIYA says.
Yes. You've got a point there.
Yes, yeah, okay. No. That's what, because I was thinking about that light story, that situation of the light. And then if it is during the day, it doesn't matter whether there's a light or no light. There's sunlight. Yeah. But okay, that's all good. Thanks.
No, thank you. So saying proof like you did with Longwe, using the video that you were not there in that building. I doubt you will ever find that, because this one does not have ENCA video. That is 30 seconds.
Abanye bayabuza ke AVL.
Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I just been in and I'm listening to this.
Yes.
I was thinking something. What you said to me?
Can you find can you find a proper position, because the sound is not as clear. The sound is not as clear as we would like it to be. I don't know if you can try other means maybe so that we can hear you properly.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, let's try. Let's try. It's not. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying, I heard one caller for real is true. The day Valoyi was speaking. Not that forceful Valoyi that you have seen from the beginning. And yeah. And then also, I was thinking, how about the defense team recruit for a writing expert? First, as number one is saying you want defense. Then after that, for his possession, he has given a piece of paper to sign. Defense team, hello?
Yes,
defense team request for the original signed document Then somebody maybe they type it. Give it to Sevilla. Sevilla can it means rewrite this information. Maybe just a paragraph. Then they compare the handwriting. I think this case will be fun. It will show who wrote or what happened. Because it is that.
I think that exercise would be fruitless. There is no denying that Mboto wrote that and that Cronje wrote everything. But they are saying it came from Sibiya's mouth. So the only thing they were doing is administration. That's what they are saying. So it's like Mamumfundi is typing and then Uzungu, or I'm not saying Mamumfundi is typed that thing, but I'm just making an example. And then Uzungu takes whatever that he wrote down, these shredded notes, he throws them away because now they are type notes. Do you understand? That's how things were.
Yeah. But the other good part that I realized would be that everything that came to me is totally two different things. As much as they can take the situation to say, okay, this is what happened, and what the source of this is allergy, totally different. Now, hopefully, the judge for the first time will be on this point fine. As much as you may think they're criminals and stuff, at least let them situation for crime beating.
Yeah.
Not here. So I got hurt with the yes, I understand. You're a criminal, but what if you didn't do it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. I'm just like listening to you. Just say my own thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, yeah. My comments are yeah, you guys are making me laugh, but I don't want to laugh. Let me go. Dokas, thank you for being here. Lola is being naughty here. Lola, thank you for being here. Busan's band, thank you for being here. Our members. Innocentia, thank you for being here. Buitumelo MC Master, we need GININDA's AVL.
Asking for it. They're like, an AVL like GININDA could sort out all of these problems.
Mamfunega, you guys are having fun. Chuku Anna, thank you for being here. Whitstein, thank you for being here. Let's see. Mayana, thank you for being here. Caesar 18, thank you for being here. Let's see. Obinyati, thank you for being here. Busani Sibanda, I think I've mentioned you. And Laura, I've mentioned you. Innocentia Hadebe, thank you for being here. Msiana, thank you for being here. Mamfuneg, I've mentioned. Siba, thank you. And indeed, it was 7 when he met GININDA, right? 7 p.m.
Yes, 7
even though he was
PM.
arrested at 1 or 2, something like that.
He met 7
Raul Mtrobel, you are uti siyaphila Mpanjeni. Yes, Raul. I was there that side of Escalene. Checking ukuthi indawo zamakhosi ngisayiphethe kahle. Zoli, thank you for being here. Let's see. It's Friday, guys. Stivovo, thank you for being here. Siyabonga. Vusuthando Maqhobane, thank you for being here. Mfuneka, I've seen you. Me try to look for people that I've never mentioned. The informative channel, thank you for being here. Siyabonga. Michelle Lee, thank you for being here. Kapside Tul Kapashe, thank you for being here. Brendange Mantusenkom, thank you for being here. Bongani Emmanuel, thank you for being here. Yes. Pedro Nkosi, thank you for being here. I'm with you. now after network problem. That's Pedro Nkosi, you had network problem. Thank you. Siyabonga. Lindiwe Bembe, our member, thank you for being here. Papama Nonjekwa, thank you for being here. Lawrence Buthelezi, thank you for being here. Let's see. Ntsigi Cassandra Kamguni, our member, thank you for being here. Lusanda Msila, thank you for being here. Tobeka D, our moderator, thank you for moderating and thank you for being here. And Tozi Senlanga, thank you for moderating and thank you for being here, even if I haven't seen your name. Positive Vibes with T, thank you for being here. Siyabonga. Miss Mrs. K, thank you for being here. Lindiwe, thank you for being here. Ellis Namodi, thank you for being here. Haile Bale, thank you for being here. Spawn Sizwe, you've been mentioned. Blessing Mabena, our member, thank you for being here. Dorothy, thank you for being here. Hlele, our member, thank you for being here. Matthews Molife Ndaba, thank you for being here. Sibanda Skatele, thank you for being here. Yeah, Seshanabo Emil. Korobabona Tantalanga, thank you for being here. Noktula Sbungseni, thank you for being here. Peji Mbata, thank you for being here. Suga Zwazwazwa, thank you for being here. Ulusanda Msila has been mentioned. Ulebza, thank you for being here. Siyabonga Lebza. Musankosi, thank you for being here. Siba, thank you for being here. Msongelwa Ndlovu, Ukatsheni Buyabenyathi, thank you for being here. Stella, thank you for being here. Sihla nawe emelweni zongadela ifoni because angiyibuki as I'm busy. Kwelakithi, thank you for being here. You know, Kwelakithi, every time I read your name, my thinking is that go phuma kwaNongoma. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong. It's a feeling. Lucy, thank you for being here. Ngomane 83, thank you for being here. Tabiso, thank you for being here. I guess njalo ke manje just jump. Sibone, ngiyabona ukuthi khona osethena Emily awuphuza itiye. Ulola uthi
phuza itiye. Bringing a cup, my synonymous white cup.
Yes.
I need that synonymous white cup as a sip.
Yes.
And like just sip your mom and a sip your.
Hey, Nanjelob, thank you for being here.
I need it, honestly speaking.
Fiso Sindani, thank you for being here, our member. Yes. Sikuyisikhathi sokubonga, siyabonga. Sibonga wonke umuntu oparticipated. Alf Mesh, thank you for being here. Tembelani Kanye, thank you for being here. Nkulunkulu akubusise njalo werola. Thank you. Sibongile. Sigcine senza ihlaya mhlambe sangabonga, but thank you. Zwilethu Nyathi. Thank you for being here. Udokas madoda. Ubani simkhohlwayo. Khona simkhohlwayo akaphakamisa isandla. But make sure ukuthi lelo gama that I can read it. Because hey, bafowethu niyangifaka enkingeni. Mlindos Likay. Thank you for being here. Siyabonga. Uti so Brigadier Mzegazege, is this is this tiny valley in real life? Impela, I think so. I think with the mask, he lost count of his fats, allegedly. Yeah. Hayi khona ngeke. Ngiyafuna ukuqhubeka kodwa ngiyaqhubekeki. Yeah, John, thank you for being here, siyabonga. Niyahlupa la kuma comment amanye ngisuke ngithi nje ngiyathatha random kanti thatha are wrong. Let's press the like button, guys. Like we mean it. Press the like. Gloria Nzala, thank you for being here. Mr. Anonymous, can the witness carry a gun or he was working today? They would say he's on duty in any case. I don't know. Does he carry the gun?
We'll look into that.
Does he carry the big guns all the time? I don't know.
We'll look into that.
Angaz. But yeah, I mean, they can do anything. I mean, these days you don't know what is right and wrong. Noza. Thank you for being here. Siyabonga Noza. Puleng Senkane, thank you for being here. Umlindus. Siyabonga bafowethu. If I didn't, Maudwane Africa Jabadi, thanks for being here. Siyabonga. Ayike bangakushonga namhlanje. Ay khona something. Because Sabon Jomsongela, they're coming again and again. Please, can we have the challenge for unveiling GININDA? Hey, challenge. Yeah, you guys can have it. Dr. Mello, thank you. Through your chat, good night. Siyabonga Dr. Mello, good night. Please press the like button as you go out, as you go in. Uti Westin all the way from Namibia. Oh, siyabonga Namibia. Omkhaya lab. We've been at some point we one country, right?
Yes.
Let's say we are in a mood. I think we are in a mood. This Friday, it's Saturday in any case. Yeah, in a mood. But yeah, thank you guys. In reality, without you, there's no show. So honestly, you are part of the show. Thank you very much. God bless you for everything that you have done for us and we've done for this channel, because that is actually assisting us. We appreciate you. But also, as we might offend some people because we sometimes laugh. But if you don't laugh, then you're gonna
have a high
we must laugh.
Sad and
depressed. Some of these things, they don't make sense to such an extent that you have to laugh. Because if you get angry, but if we offend you, it doesn't mean that we are just here to play. We are not playing. We started this for not playing. There are people who started this for playing. Probably you watch them and you don't say anything because Nina Njalo.
Get the harshest criticism. There are people who tell you in your face, this is entertainment.
And then Besenia.
You don't tell them anything.
Besenia tool. Missing up
guys. Every day I'm showing up. I'm gonna go crazy if I just.
But I know, not you guys. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. We are just joking. Not about the show, but about what we're saying. No offense. Please press the like button. Bye-bye from me.
Asambeni, guys. Asambeni. We'll see each other next time.
Siye kaya ezulwi. We makula.